Is it time to finally consider trading one of our big pitchers for big bat in return? Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Edwards, host here for Mariners Daily, the podcast for the thinking Mariners fan. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode 33. Today is October 30th. We're going to be breaking down that big question as well as a possible big bat that we could be possibly trading for. That'll be our player profile. I'm gonna talk about Harry Ford a little bit, see what we could expect from him this season, and then finally give you an update on the World Series and the Dodgers losing again. All right, let's get into it. Should we trade a starting pitcher? Now, I covered this, I think, earlier this week. I talked about Luis Castillo, and he is definitely my number one option if we are going to trade a starting pitcher. However, he is making a decent amount of money, and I don't know how much we would actually be able to get him to get for him. So, if we actually want a big bat in return, Luis Castillo would be more of a money dump if we wanted to pay Josh Naylor and hopefully another very good hitter like an outfielder or third base, second base, whichever one we wanna fill there. I I would prefer that. I'd prefer that because I don't like to trade, prospects or anything like that. I guess if we have to include somebody with Luis Castillo, that's fine. But the guys that I'm looking at today are Logan Gilbert and George Kirby. And I know, I'm insane. I'm ridiculous. I get it. Let's just hypothesize. Let's just think about a scenario. And you guys let me know in the comments what you think about it. And I appreciate the comments, guys. We've been getting a couple of comments. Shout out to Christopher, who's been commenting on a couple of videos. I appreciate you watching, Chris. And yeah, I appreciate your comments and your input because I want to hear what you guys have to say, man. I want to hear what you guys have to say. It's a conversation, you know. Logan Gilbert, he is 28 years old. He's got 2 years of control. Obviously, was fantastic this season. 131 innings, so not a full season, but still more than enough. A 32.3 K percentage, only a 5.8 walk percentage, just so good. And we all know it's the home runs that are the problem. 1.37 home runs per nine, a 14.8 home run per fly ball percentage. That's a little scary. A 3.44 ERA and a 3.35 FIP. Despite the home run problems, he is still a very good pitcher, and that splitter is stupid good, along with the four seamer in the top of the zone. Gilbert has been fantastic for us, and he was a rock in these playoffs. He definitely had a bad start, but was still very good. Kirby, on the other hand, did take a step back this season, seemingly. He was injured as well. Now he's about to be 28 years old, but he's got 3 years of control. 126 innings this past season, a 26.1 K percentage for Kirby. Pardon the yawn. 4.21 ERA. I'm recording this earlier than I normally do, so that's it. A 4.21 ERA for Kirby, a 3.37 FIP, right around where Gilbert was in the FIP department. The home runs are less of a problem. It's more that he just doesn't get as many strikeouts as Gilbert does. Clearly, 32 K percentage versus 26% K percentage for Kirby. So, you know, what do you guys think? Do you think we should trade one of Gilbert or Kirby? Is it time to do it to get a big bat? Like, I'm a little worried. If so, here's my thing. If we are not willing to spend to improve this offense, then either we need to trade Luis Castillo and get some money off the books so that we have more money to spend to get those bats that we need. Josh Naylor, Jorge Polanco, and the like. Whoever else we want to get for the outfield, possibly. Somebody that can help our defense out would be fantastic. So either trading Luis Castillo for the big bat, shutting up and just spending the money anyways, because that's honestly what we should do, because we need this rotation depth. This is a luxury that you shouldn't. I I don't think we should trade from personally. But if we are not willing to spend the money and we can't get Luis Castillo off the books, slash it's not worth it, maybe it's worth it just to keep Luis Castillo. I do think he's trending in the wrong direction. I'm scared about him heading into this season, but he has been consistent. He has been good, but I don't know how long that's going to last for. So, if we're not going to trade Luis Castillo, Gilbert or Kirby make the most sense. Gilbert has 2 years of control left. He's 28 years old. And if we're going to extend him, like they're just going to get more and more expensive. So the Mariners, we've already extended a decent amount of our guys, a decent amount of our guys. J-Rod, Cal Raleigh, Castillo was one of them. I I don't know how much money they're willing to spend slash how much money Kirby and Gilbert will control for an extension, and if they even want to extend with us at the prices that we're going to offer. Usually we get to players a little bit younger and then extend them so that they're cheaper. So Gilbert or Kirby, Kirby had the rougher season between the two, but he's got 3 years of control, and we've seen him at his best. That fastball control is absolutely fantastic. And we see the dominance from Gilbert. He can strike out the world. Should we trade one of them? I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying no. I think that should be like plan C or plan D is trading one of these guys. But if we do trade one of them, I've got a player that maybe we could trade him for. And that's our player profile for today. Jarren Duran on the Boston Red Sox. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I thought this would be an interesting hypothesis. They'll throw it out there, trade idea. I am not a creator of trades. That is not me. I don't know trades well enough to really make those predictions. Free agent contracts, I can do that all day. Been doing that for years. One of my favorite things growing up as a baseball fan, just in general, predicting those contracts. But with trades, nobody knows what they're talking about with trades. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what value, what teams value, what prospect is doing well, what's not, what do they grade out as, all those things. You can look at the scouting report, but only tells you so much. But oof, Jarren Duran is an interesting name. Why? The Red Sox outfield is full right now. They've got Willie Abreu, who could play left field, Ceddanne Rafaela, who's one of the best center fielders defensively in the game, one of the best. And then they've got Roman Anthony, the young kid, in right field, the stud. So theoretically, pretty full. And listen, Jarren Duran's not without his marks. We've seen him drop a couple choice words to some fans, and he's a very highly emotional player, I would say. He's a highly emotional player. But we've seen guys like Josh Naylor. I wouldn't say Josh Naylor is necessarily a super high emotion, like he's not super emotionally like unstable, but he is pretty passionate. And Jarren Duran will be able to bring that passion, and he'll also be a quality leadoff batter for the Mariners, which would be great to have and not have to rely on Randy as much. Randy's nice, but he just strikes out a little too much for me. Um, it's not like Duran doesn't strike out. He does, but he gives you some power, he gives you some speed. He's very dynamic, and we've seen him be good defensively. Let me get into the stats. We've seen him be good defensively as recent as 2024, but that season was very different than the one we just had from this season. This season was 696 plate appearances, so he's playing, man. He's out there. 16 home runs, 24 stolen bases, an 8.6 walk percentage, and a 24 K percentage. All right, pause. I get it if you're out already. I get it. You see 24 K percentage, you're like, no, we need to cut it down. Gotta cut it down. And I get it. I do get it. But you're kind of buying into Duran for the potential that he brings, not necessarily what he did this past season. And if you're still out, then I get it. Totally good. A .185 isolated power, a 326 BABIP. He hit 256 with a 332 on base this season and a 442 slugging percentage, a 111 runs created plus, so slightly above average hitter overall. 3.9 F4 on the season. The hard hit metrics look very good, and they look just as good as they were in 2024 when he had his huge breakout season. It was always over a 6 WAR season for him. He has a 9.7 barrel percentage this past year, which is right in line with what he did in 2024. A 91.8 exit velocity and a 46.8 hard hit percentage. So he is hitting the ball very hard. The problem this past season was his chase percentage, and he was making a lot less contact when he was chasing. His chase percentage went up about 3%. It went up to 31% from 2024. And then his chase contact percentage went down, dropped 7%. It went from 52.9% in 2024 to 45%, which is not great at all. Pause. Sorry. That was rough. Chase contact. He's chasing more. He's not making as much contact when he's chasing. It's just not it's not good things. It's not good things that you want to see, especially from a young player. He's going to have to adjust. Be curious to see what developments he can make. Pardon me. Let me just we're going to clear out the throat a little bit. And I think he'd be an interesting option. Like I said, we could plug him right into right field. We could throw Canzone at DH, which would be great, and we wouldn't have to rely on Robles too much. Duran is such a dynamic player, the power, the speed, that's what you're getting him for. And also, that ceiling is pretty untapped, man. I mean, 2024 was amazing, and he could even be better than that. So it's a possibility. We'd be buying low. If we did trade for him, it'd probably have to be Kirby because Duran has a decent amount of control as well, at least 3 years for Duran. So I would guess the Red Sox would want Kirby in return, maybe more. I don't know. I think Kirby's pretty comparable. They're both very high ceiling guys that had a little bit of a down year, a little bit of a hiccup, but like not bad years necessarily. I don't know. Is that ridiculous? Would you say no? What would you say? What would you say if the Red Sox came calling? They said Jaron Duran for George Kirby or Logan Gilbert. Would you rather do Gilbert? I know we've got more of a fresh taste in our mouths from Gilbert this past season, but he also has his problems, and the splitter is not exactly the most like dependable pitch in the world. So I don't know. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know. I thought it'd be an interesting option. Jaron Duran is a huge bat, and he would be perfect just to plug right into right field and not even have to worry about it. We've seen him have good defense, but it was not great this past season. His range in particular was not great. So I'm curious about that. The arm looked decent. So I don't know. He's still young. Defensive statistics are less concrete right now, unless I see a consistent, upswing or consistent good or consistently bad. Like JP Crawford has been consistently bad at shortstop. It's not like that. He was very Jaron Duran was very good in right field. Very good in the outfield period for the Red Sox in 2024. He could be good for us this year. He wasn't good this past year, we'll say. But I think he could be interesting. Let me know what you think about Jaron Duran. Kirby, Gilbert, who would you if you have to trade? That's what I'm saying. If you have to trade a top pitcher, who are you trading? I'm not saying we have to, and we better not. Honestly, I really don't want to, and we better not have to. But free agent contracts can get out of control, man. They can get crazy, dude. Next up, Harry Ford. What can we expect? Now, listen, he's probably going to be the backup. He's going to be the backup catcher. So it's not like we're relying on him to be a starter or to be a stud or anything. But he's a really interesting prospect. Number 4 in the system, currently ranked by MLB.com. And he did fantastic. And he's been fantastic throughout the minors, which has been great to see. This past year, he was in AAA. He's moved slowly through the minors every single year, getting full playing time at catcher, which has been so great to see. In AAA this past year, he had 458 plate appearances, 16 home runs, 7 stolen bases, a 16.2 walk percentage, 19.2 K percentage. So he is walking a lot. He's not striking out too much. Power is not super legit. Like I said, 16 home runs is decent, but it's not amazing. Give me a moment. My gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. He hit 283 with a 408 on base and a 460 slugging percentage, a 125 runs created plus in AAA this season. Hard hit percentage is good at 41.9%. Exit velocity wasn't that great at 88.8, but I'm not expecting him to be a slugger. He's got to get on base and just make enough contact, really. We have seen him steal a lot of bases throughout his minor league career. This year was very much not so. Like I said, only 7 stolen bases in a fairly full season. In Double A in 2024, he had 35 stolen bases. 35 out of the catcher spot is crazy. So he's got some speed in there. He's got some speed. I don't know why he didn't run as much this season. Maybe they're just trying to keep him a little bit healthier, keep him off his legs as much, which I get. I mean, a catcher that runs, that's a rough like. But if you're the backup, I know they threw him out in left field a little bit. So like, if he is able to kind of move around a little bit, move around the diamond, that would be great, especially if the bat is clicking. The only thing I'd be worried about is feel like what I see a lot with these young players is that they get called up to the majors and the K percentage takes a spike, and he's not a super high contact guy. He did hit 283 this past year in AAA, but that's with a 330 batting average on balls in play, BABIP. So if that dips to a below average BABIP, a 280 BABIP, shall we say, that's 50 points of batting average, which would put him at 233. And that's just if he's a slightly below batting average on balls in play. So then the power doesn't play, and then the walk percentage doesn't look as good, and all these things. So keep that in mind. He's just got to make enough contact, get on base. Doesn't have to do a whole lot this year. Like I said, he's only a backup. So deep breath. Harry Ford could be a quality player, and I'm curious to see what we get from him. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about Harry Ford? Let me know. Finally, the Dodgers lose game 5 as their bats have gone frigid, ice cold. They lost last night 6-1. Trey Savage, you remember facing Trey Savage, that stupidly good young stud. He went 7 innings, 3 hits given up, 1 earned run, 12 strikeouts versus the Dodgers. That's insane. That is the game of his life. That's crazy. The Blue Jays are now up 3-2 as they head back to Toronto today. Their game 6 is tomorrow. I'm curious to see if the Dodgers bats can finally wake up, if they can get some rest and finally wake up, because after they won the marathon that was game 3, when they won that one 6-5 in 18 innings, that was Monday. They lose yesterday, game 4, 6-2, and they lose, or not yesterday, but 2 days ago. And then yesterday was 6-1, they lose. So they've scored 3 runs since. It's the freaking Dodgers, man. Dodgers offense has gone ice cold. It's crazy to watch. Honestly, you just look at that lineup and you're like, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy. Like, go down the line, man. Teoscar Hernandez. Like, Teoscar Hernandez would be like our number 4 hitter if we had him. Like, we got him back. Just crazy. Absolutely insane what the Blue Jays are doing. So, hats off to them. Hats off to Trey Savage. Good for them. Whatever. I'm not salty at all for losing to them. Not at all. But the Dodgers are losing, and I'm curious to see how this ends. I am curious. I want to see it. Who are you rooting for? Losing to the Blue Jays? Did that just? Are you just like go Dodgers, or I don't even know, man? Are you watching? You watching the World Series? You checking in? I'm checking in, but I'm not watching. Watching, I'm not locked in. It's kind of a bummer. After the Mariners lost, it was hard not to check out a little bit. Definitely hard, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody commenting. Let me know. Let me know how the show's going. If you agree with my ideas. What do you think about Gilbert? What do you think about Kirby trading one of these guys? Obviously, we don't want to, but if you had to, who are you trading? What do you think about Jaron Duran? Is he too hot headed for this team? He'd be dynamic. He'd be really, really exciting in the leadoff spot for the Mariners. He would lengthen our lineup a little bit. It would be cool, but I don't. I wouldn't do it. I don't think I want to do it. That's just me. All right, guys. I'll see you back tomorrow. Have a good one.